Welcome to About Mansfield. It's your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Cellmark Studios, along with the About Mansfield news team. Colleen Daniels, she's out there in Studio West. This is the February 19th, 2025, 259th edition. Coming up, it's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information.
And a little later in the episode, you will have a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice with our Mansfield Trivia Question, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance.
Let's take a look at the stories we're covering this week.
The May local ballot is ready to roll. Almost.
Mansfield ISD board president denies rumors of district split.
Mansfield Business Alliance announces inaugural 40 under 40.
Mansfield ISD board meeting highlights student achievements.
Country folk musician wins Music Alley Main Stage Minute competition.
And in sports, girls basketball teams put their seasons to rest.
And in the talk segment, Steve concludes his interview with Step It Up Sports CEO, Dr. Tonjia Grimble. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
Are you ready to create unforgettable memories? Picture this: an enchanting event venue nestled amidst breathtaking landscapes with panoramic views right here in Mansfield. The Grandview Event Center is the perfect setting to bring your vision to life. From intimate gatherings to large-scale extravaganzas, the Grandview has flexible spaces to accommodate any occasion, be it a graduation or school function, art exhibition, or birthday or anniversary party. Book your next unforgettable experience at thegrandviewmansfield.com. That's thegrandviewmansfield.com. The Grandview Event Center, where memories are made and dreams become reality. Book your event today.
Hi, I'm Taronda Hillman, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by the Grandview Event Center in Mansfield.
The school board and city council ballot is ready to go for the May elections, with one exception. The deadline has passed to file to run for all of the school board seats, as well as city council seats 1 and 2. But because Place 5 is a special election, the filing deadline closes Monday, March 3rd at 5 p.m. The School Board of Trustees ballot is locked in for May. Place 3, Craig Tipping and Jason Thomas. Place 4, Kezia Valdez-Farrar and Ana Alicia Horn. And Place 5, Bianca Benavides Anderson, Dustin McDonald, and Jesse Cannon II. Currently, the city council races are as follows. Place 1, the mayor's seat, Michael Evans and Julie Short. Place 2, Tamara Bounds and Lori Williams. And again, the deadline for the special election for Place 5 closes March 3rd. The ballot thus far shows Todd Simmons, Melissa Perez, Lance Hood, and Eric Rozak. Mark your calendar. Early voting starts Monday, April 21st, and runs through Tuesday, April 29th. Election Day is scheduled for Saturday, May 3rd.
Mansfield ISD Board President Kezia Farrar has addressed rumors circulating on social media about a potential split of the district. In a statement, Farrar calls the claims, quote, completely unfounded, unquote, and says they appear intended to create division within the community. Farrar emphasized that neither she nor any other trustee has participated in discussions or plans to divide Mansfield ISD now or in the past. She affirmed the board's commitment to serving the entire district, which includes students from Grand Prairie, Arlington, Mansfield, Burleson, Fort Worth, Venus, Alvarado, and Kennedale, stating that all students are valued members of the MISD community.
The Mansfield Business Alliance has announced the recipients of its first ever Mansfield 40 Under 40 Award, honoring 40 young professionals under the age of 40 for their achievements and contributions across various industries. This year's honorees were selected from a competitive pool of candidates based on their career accomplishments, leadership, and commitment to community development. The recipients represent fields including business, education, healthcare, technology, and nonprofit work. MBA Board Chair Joe Jenkins noted the significance of the award, highlighting the impact these individuals have made in Mansfield and their potential to influence future generations. The Mansfield 40 Under 40 Award recognizes those who not only excel in their professions, but also contribute to the community through volunteerism, mentorship, and innovation. An awards ceremony will be held in late March.
The February Mansfield ISD School Board meeting recognized students from Legacy High School and Frontier STEM Academy who earned spots on the College Board National Awards list. Elementary school students were also celebrated for academic excellence and good citizenship, while Fox 4's Mike Ducey received recognition for his dedication to the Toys for Tots program. The Curriculum and Instruction Department provided an update on mid-year local assessments, and the 2024 Bond program team presented final design plans, including middle school orchestra additions and renovations to baseball and softball fields at the district's 5 high schools. Mansfield ISD board meetings are open to the public. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March 25th at 7 p.m., at the Center for the Performing Arts on Debbie Lane.
The City of Mansfield's Special Events Department recently held the 2025 Music Alley Main Stage Minute Competition to see who would be chosen to open for this year's headliner at the Music Alley Festival. 87 performers competed for the top spot by submitting videos of their performances. Then, Mansfield residents got to work and cast over 4,500 votes. And after the votes were counted, the event organizers announced Fort Worth country folk musician Tommy Luke as this year's winner. Let's take a listen.
Baby, take me back through them pines. I wanna live that good country life. Darling, I don't know what I should do. I'm coming down with the East Texas blues.
Sounds good. Tommy Luke will get to open for this year's headliner, which is yet to be announced. Music Alley is Mansfield's free music and arts festival and will take place on April 5th from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. in historic downtown Mansfield.
We're talking basketball, we're talking soccer, because sports is next.
I'm Philip Washington, Chief Investment Officer of Stonehill Wealth Management and host of the Wealth Building Made Simple podcast. First book I read in college was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it changed my life. And since then, I've read tons and tons of books on money. And what I've done is taken those lessons, simplified them, and I talk about those lessons on my podcast, Wealth Building Made Simple. So come hang out with us. We're on every major platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube. Wealth Building Made Simple.
Hey, it's Steve Casillo, and are you ready to make your voice heard? Want to bring out your ideas to life through captivating conversations and engaging visuals? Look no further than Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio, your one-stop destination for award-winning audio and video podcast recording. Equipped with cutting-edge microphones, crystal clear audio recording, and high-definition cameras, we're here to turn your ideas into engrossing content. But it's not just about the equipment. We're dedicated to bringing out the best in your content. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're here to elevate your podcasting game. We'll even help you with intro music, transitions, voiceover, and that professional polish that sets your podcast apart. So whether you're into interviews, storytelling, or simply sharing your expertise, Podcast Mansfield can help bring your podcasting dreams to life. Visit podcastmansfield.com. Podcast Mansfield, where creating your podcast masterpiece has never been easier.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a Level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
In sports, it was not a good night for the Mansfield ISD girls basketball teams Tuesday night, as all four teams that advanced to the area round of the playoffs were defeated. Timber Creek downed Lake Ridge. Friendship nipped Legacy 54-53. Aledo bested Timberview. And Argyle topped Summit. And you may remember last week, Summit routed Polytechnic 85-2. All eyes turned to boys basketball as the first round of the playoffs started Tuesday night, past our recording deadline. 3 teams have qualified for the by-district round of the playoffs. Lake Ridge plays LD Bell. Summit and Polytechnic go head-to-head, while Timberview takes on Pascal. On the pitch, the Lake Ridge boys Eagles soccer team extended their winning streak to 6 by defeating Boswell 2-0. And your Mansfield Tigers soundly defeated Weatherford 6-0 by scoring 4 goals in the first half and a pair in the second. If you have a comment about the show, the news, whatever's on your mind locally, the good, the bad, the ugly, you can reach us by voicemail at 817-435-2938. Think of it as your audio letter to the editor. That voicemail number again, 817-435-2938. This coming Saturday, February 22nd, one of my favorite days of the year, National Margarita Day, the perfect excuse to shake up your favorite cocktail. This classic drink made with tequila, lime juice, triple sec, and perhaps a splash of Cointreau on top has been a fan favorite since the 1930s, though its exact origins remain a bit of a mystery. Whether you like yours frozen or on the rocks with salt or tahini or something else, there's a margarita for everyone. Undoubtedly, bars and restaurants across the Metroplex will be offering special deals, so keep an eye out for happy hour discounts near you. If you're mixing one up at home, why not get creative? Try some special fruit, a spicy rim, or even a splash of mezcal for a smoky twist. Remember to celebrate responsibly, and cheers to National Margarita Day.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and today we're diving into an important topic: how cold weather can increase the risk of heart attacks.
In this week's Cocktail of the Week, imagine a cocktail that's as ancient as love itself.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
This portion of the news was brought to you by the Grandview Event Center in Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, where excellence is still cool.
Congratulations to Daniel Ray, who knew that the Mansfield Fire Rescue Chief is Michael Ross. When we come back, this week's trivia question. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
It is time for the highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield Trivia Question. If you are the first person to email the correct answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com, you will receive a $25 gift card to a Mansfield area restaurant of your choice. It's brought to you by Joe Jenkins Insurance. Whether you're looking for homeowners, auto, commercial, or any other type of insurance, Joe's helped Mansfield area residents understand the insurance coverage that best fit their needs since 2010. You can find him on the internet at joejenkinsinsurance.com. Colleen, it's your turn.
Well, Steve, today's trivia question carries the Mansfield name, but not locally. Mansfield Dam is the largest dam in Texas, and it was opened in 1941 to control flooding in the area. This week's trivia question is multiple choice. Where is Mansfield Dam located? Is it A, just outside of Abilene, B, just outside of Austin, or C, just outside of Amarillo? Email your answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Again, where is Mansfield Dam located? Just outside of Abilene, Austin, or Amarillo? That's trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Good luck, and thanks to Joe Jenkins Insurance for the gift card.
Hello, I'm local movie producer Michael Hill, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section. Angel Biasatti shares important information about the rise in heart attacks during cold weather in Methodist Mansfield News to Know. Angel?
It's well documented that heart attack risks rise as temperatures drop. And with the cold and flu season partly to blame, respiratory infections are on the rise, which can put a strain on the heart, making winter a critical time for heart health. Research shows that heart attacks are more likely in the days following an infection, and viruses like the flu and COVID-19 have been linked to long-term heart complications, including blood clots and heart failure. That's why experts strongly recommend flu shots, COVID boosters, frequent hand washing, and staying at home when you're sick to reduce the spread of infections. But it's just not illness that increases heart risk in the winter. Cold temperatures cause blood vessels to constrict, rising blood pressure, forcing the heart to work harder. Strenuous activities like shoveling snow, getting ice off your car, can add even more strain, especially for those with high blood pressure, diabetes, or other heart conditions. Thankfully, here in Mansfield, we don't have to worry about snow very often. Winter diets can also have an impact. Heavy, salty foods and increased alcohol consumption during the cold weather months can raise blood pressures and interfere with our medications. Alcohol can lead to falls, hypothermia, and other health risks. And remember, delaying medical care due to bad weather can be dangerous. If you or someone you know experience chest pain or other warning signs of a heart attack, don't wait. Call 911 and seek emergency help immediately. For more tips on protecting your heart this winter, talk to your healthcare provider. Stay warm, stay heart healthy. That's Methodist Mansfield News to Know. I'm Angel Biasatti reporting for About Mansfield podcast.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Brian Certain serves up a drink that's as ancient as love itself in the cocktail of the week. Brian?
This week's feature is the Pomegranate Passion, a sophisticated blend that marries the mystical allure of the pomegranate while modern mixology techniques. Today, we're continuing our February Love Potion series with a cocktail that traces its origins to the Mediterranean, where pomegranates have been celebrated for over 4,000 years. And while pomegranate juice in cocktails gained popularity during the craft cocktail renaissance of the early 2000s, this particular combination draws inspiration from the classic cosmopolitan, reimagined with the deep complexity of pomegranate. But as always, don't worry about taking notes as I'm giving out the ingredients and instructions. I always post them every Wednesday on bourbongospel.com. So today, the ingredients you're going to need is 2 ounces of a pomegranate vodka, a half ounce of Cointreau or a good triple sec, 1.5 ounces of fresh pomegranate juice, a half ounce of fresh lime juice, and then pomegranate seeds for garnish, and then an orange twist makes a nice optional garnish as well. How to make this romantic libation. First, fill your shaker with fresh ice. I bet you've never heard that before. Then add vodka, Cointreau, pomegranate juice, and lime juice. Shake vigorously for 15 to 20 seconds. And then double strain into a chilled coupe glass. Finally, float fresh pomegranate seeds and express the orange oils over the top if desired. It really adds a nice little pop. Flavor profile. First thing you're going to pick up is that sweet, tart pomegranate juice. Secondly, you're going to get those bright citrus notes. How's it going to taste? The finish is going to be complex. but very balanced with subtle orange undertones from the triple sec. Why is this cocktail for our third week of romance? Well, the pomegranate has long been considered the fruit of love and marriage in many cultures. In Armenian tradition, a bride would throw a pomegranate against a wall. The more seeds that fell, the more children they would have. In modern Turkey, newlyweds still share a pomegranate on their wedding night for prosperity and fertility. Pro tips: when selecting your pomegranate juice, always opt for 100% pure juice with no added sugars. Certainly Central Market carries several of these. But the natural tartness creates the perfect balance with the Cointreau's sweetness. But as always, I'm open to hear your take and input. You can reach me at brian@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as Mark Twain said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain.
We're back in 60 seconds with the conclusion of Steve's interview with Stem It Up Sports CEO, Dr. Tonjia Grimble.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm Scott Farrell, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. And today we conclude our two-part interview with Stem It Up Sports CEO, Dr. Tonjia Grimble. Enjoy. Let's talk about AI.
Let's talk about it. AI is can be a scary word for some people.
Oh my gosh, people are freaking out because AI is going to take my job.
AI is not going to take your job. The person that knows how to use AI will take your job, which is probably why you should learn it. you know, but AI is the wave of the future. But what's exciting about AI is that we've been using it a lot longer than it's been popular, right? I mean, anytime you've gone on to Google and you typed in just a few, sentences, that's an AI function.
And it knows. There's an algorithm that
knows.
Okay, Steve has been searching for these words, and it's already thinking ahead for you.
It is. It is. And some people think that that's really scary, like they're watching over me. Well, they've always been watching over us. I mean, every time you take your phone with you everywhere, that's a GPS. So they're going to always know where you are. You can't get away from that. Right. So if we stop thinking about that and like they're going to follow us or they're in our houses, the moment you bought Alexa, she's in your house.
Oh, yeah. Listens to every word.
Exactly.
And you say, you know what, why don't you put a little coconut in that, and then all of a sudden you're getting ads for coconuts.
Ads for coconuts.
And that's nuts.
I know. But when you think about it, if you were to take that concept and let's just say you were talking about something that you needed and all of a sudden it pops up and it has a discount, now it's working for you. It's finding all of these. You mentioned this before. It's almost like the friend that you told about the idea that you had, and then all of a sudden they heard about a discount that's happening over here, and then they call and tell you about it.
Right.
That's what AI is doing for you. They're your backup friend to tell you, oh, by the way, there's a discount on this. I've searched the entire web and I found, a half off price. That's the friend you got to invite in. Now, you can always unplug that friend.
Yep.
If they're getting to be too invasive, you can always unplug them. But
No, because my Alexa plays music and creates timers for me. And Alexa really works overtime on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
When I've got, Alexa, set a pumpkin pie timer and set a turkey timer and set a gravy timer. And all of a sudden, she, with quotes, Alexa's got like 17 timers going for me.
Yes.
Because everybody get out of the kitchen.
And never mind, she's playing Christmas holiday music for you too in the whole process.
Absolutely. Thanksgiving is my Super Bowl.
Okay.
I love to cook. I love to cook. And people know, everybody in the house knows, get out of the kitchen because Dad's busy. And
she's your sous chef.
Yeah. Just, hey, set a timer. Set this timer. And I'm going to give you a little secret.
Okay.
And I guess because the microphones are on.
It won't be a secret anymore.
Yeah. When I write a news story for this podcast, I run it through AI.
Yes.
And I tell it, rewrite this story for news radio without bias.
Yes.
Because apparently, I don't know, there are people out there who say, "Oh, Steve's is liberal and blah blah blah," and what was the last one? A far left liberal lunatic, and it's like, okay, I'll take that, whatever. Not based on the news stories I do, because not only then I take that AI script and I look for adjectives that could be editorializing.
Yep.
And I remove those.
There you go.
Because I believe in being fair and balanced, and that is using AI to my advantage in a journalism standpoint.
You just solved the problem.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I'm not that far left lunatic. Lunatic.
No, you're not. You're not that person.
Thank you.
You're smart in the way you use it, and you only are using it to solve problems. AI is a problem-solving tool. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to help you with something that you wouldn't normally do on your own and do it faster so you can be creative and do the things you really want to do. So it takes off that minute stuff that you're not really wanting to spend a lot of time in, and it does it for you. If I need a PowerPoint on something, I can feed in my notes to it and then say, create a PowerPoint and create a link for me at the end so that I can go straight to it, right? I don't even want to look at it on the thing. I want to go straight to my PowerPoint. If I get a little creative with it as a prompt engineer, this is one of the areas that people need to improve on when they're using AI, is become better prompt engineers. Okay. This is a whole job. AI created an entire job called a prompt engineer, and you can make somewhere between $200,000 to $600,000 being a prompt engineer. Okay.
Let me write that down. So
write that down, Steve.
my next career, a prompt engineer.
Yes. So let me tell you what this person is. This person is the person that can be very specific about the outcomes you want and can be able to manipulate AI to do those things, but break it down in a way that just gives you exactly the way you want it, how you want it, and then you can go off and live your life with it. Now, most companies are hiring prompt engineers because if they want to improve their workspace with reporting or any type of, new problems that they're trying to solve, a prompt engineer knows exactly how to make that happen. And so when you're doing these articles, you want to be better at prompting it to do exactly what you want. And don't be afraid to say, nope, this is not what I want. I need you to get very detail specific, right? Mm-hmm. And that's with any platform, ChatGPT, any of the other platforms you use. Like, you can use it for any of those things. You just got to be a better prompter.
Where does a prompt engineer get their education?
That's the thing. There is no degree plan for a prompt engineer.
I can go out and make $500,000 a year.
If you learn how to be a better prompt engineer, yes.
Would that be similar to then coding?
Yes.
Okay.
It's almost as though you're coding your thinking on how you want information delivered or designed or created. And that's what you're giving to the individual or yourself.
AI as a career path.
As a career path, why not? It gets the job done a lot faster. It's I often laugh at individuals that are like, oh, AI is going to do this. I'm thinking, no, AI is so much fun if you understand how to use it and when to use it.
And AI isn't just words.
No.
I know people who, a guy does a weekly blog. And with that, he has a graphic that is related to his blog. And the graphic, he says, people come to me and go, oh my gosh, your photos are beautiful. And he goes, yeah, they are. They're AI. And same thing, the prompt engineer in him says, no, I need you to add 3 strawberries instead of 2.
Yes.
And it reworks it. But AI has gotten to a point where these graphics look like actual photographs.
Yes. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's not. That can sometimes be the scary part of it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's also a downside, a dark side to AI because people are not only is it words, not only is it graphics, but it's also you can manipulate voice. And that's where it's becoming dangerous in politics that so-and-so, a politician calls you up by telephone and it's all AI generated.
You know, with every new thing that comes about, there's always bad actors that'll use it a different way, use it the wrong way, right? Mm-hmm. Even when you remember when the internet just came to be? Like, I remember when we were the AOL, area, right? That whole
the dial-up.
Yeah, the dial-up. And when you finally got on the internet, there was nothing there, okay? But then bad actors figured out how to use it for, let's say for porn sites or, this kind of thing. And so it became this space of like, do I really want to be on this internet? Because I don't know what it's going to, do or how I'm going to get involved in it. And then it took someone to understand, whoa, we can use this for an information gathering and to spread information. And so people can have information at a better speed. Never mind this other stuff that's there. This is a better platform to get information across. But we got to also remember that they had Playboy or they had any of these other things that were paper version at one point when you had newspapers that were giving you other stuff. So if you think about how bad stuff can pop into your life with something new that comes about, it's been a history of that.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And it's up to our kids our parents to teach our kids what to look for and what that looks like in AI.
There is a PhD of opportunities on the internet, and yet there's also Candy Crush.
Yes.
And
hey, I play that. Don't knock me. I do play that.
And you're a PhD. I
know, right? And I sometimes get bored and I need something to play.
There you go. Mine is Sudoku and yours is Candy Crush. I remember back in the early 90s of how exciting it was to go on this new frontier called the internet. And oh my gosh, I visited a website today that was in Australia.
Yes.
Or when the Sydney Opera House first launched their website, and you're going, you can now take a tour. I stood in the on the footsteps of the Opera House, but I never went inside.
That's right.
And now I could.
Yes.
And
if you weren't a traveler, the internet was your travel station.
Oh, yeah.
And you could just go anywhere. And that was what was so exciting about it. And I think every time something new happens, that I lean toward the excitement of what's the possibilities of it before I lead to, oh my gosh, all the bad things that could happen with it. And we got to stop living like that. We got to start thinking about, because kids are fearless that way. It's the adults that get like, whoa, we pump the brakes on everything. But if you go back to your kid thinking and your kid excitement for things, you will have a better look into, wow, how exciting is this and what can I learn from it? We got to just stop thinking that way and kind of be fearless like these kids are and just jump into it.
Right. Play. Because you said learning through play.
Learning through play.
Getting back to STEM, and this is not only a local thing, it's not only a state thing and national thing, but globally, countries are putting focus into science, technology, engineering, math, and so what is STEM's role in solving the global challenges, and is the United States ahead of the rest of the world?
Well, just recently. China just developed an AI tool platform that was half the price of what we spent on an AI tool just to be able to implement that AI. And I would say we have some cutting edge ideas. Other countries are doing things a little bit more succinct, like they're thinking of it in a global way. And I would challenge people to visit through, like go to AI, a platform, ChatGPT, and say, who's leading in the world of STEM, and see what it tells you. Because remember, ChatGPT is supposed to be this, non-biased kind of a platform, and whatever you pop in it, it's supposed to tell you these great things. So
can we do an experiment right here live on
Let's do it live.
Okay, here's ChatGPT. Who's leading the world in STEM AI production? And ChatGPT says, as of early 2025, the United States continues to lead globally in artificial intelligence innovation and productions, particularly in STEM. According to a recent report from Stanford University's Institute for Human-Centered AI, the U.S. surpasses all nations in key areas such as research output and technological advances. The United States. All right. I was thinking, because I keep hearing about all of these countries that are so forward thinking in their education. They're pre through senior education, and Finland for some reason sticks out. South Korea,
yes,
and
they are the way they're learning. But some of those individuals come to live in the United States and provide that same type of, instruction. Or so we recruit a lot of those locations. I just recently took a trip to Australia. One of the things that I learned about their schooling system is that they allow students to engage freely throughout the day, throughout their program. It's like they know what they're supposed to be doing through their semester courses, and they allow them to engage freely to get those things done. And there's just kind of cooperative learning that's happening in their space. There was one school I visited, and I couldn't find a teacher anywhere in the room, but the kids were doing their work. Now, that could never happen here in the United States. I was like, oh my gosh, kids would just be all over the place. But these guys were very focused. Yeah. They were very, they understood what the assignment and what they were going to do. And then when I finally finished visiting and headed back to an area where we were having a conference, all the teachers were in that room to greet me, and we started having a snack and lunch. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm amazed at the spread that they had available for us. But then I'm amazed. Then I stop and I ask, who's watching the kids? And so the
kids monitor themselves.
Exactly. And they laughed at me and they said, oh, this is our break. And I was like, oh, really? All the teachers can just come in this room and the kids just doing whatever, and no one's watching them. And no
spit wads and throwing erasers at each other.
These kids had objectives. I saw kids sitting at their table, finishing up some of their work, and they were working together collaboratively. They leave and go around to another room, and there was some things happening there, and they were all of different ages, and it was just incredible to see, right? And that just kind of tells me that these kids would be ready for a workspace that they would go into with all different diversity, all different ages. They knew how to get their tasks done without being instructed to do. And that's just a really great set platform to solving problems, like how they would begin to do that process.
How can America learn how to do that?
Oh my gosh, through innovation. We've got to have someone that buys into it, that invests in that type of learning, and there has to be an understanding with the kids. They have an objective to reach, and this is how they would reach it. I think every kid could be able to do this. I mean,
about 10 years ago, we hosted an exchange student from Finland.
Oh, really?
And she was with us for 11 months. And one of the questions was, tell me about a typical day at school. And she goes, what's really cool is first of all, we have a lot of freedom. And part of that freedom is we have 15 minutes between classes. Whereas, the local high school here, you get about 4 or 5 minutes. You got to go, come on, get out of the halls, get back to class, go. And she says that, and during that 15 minutes, we all go into the main area, the quad, let's call it a quad, and they're playing dance music, and we get to talk, and if we want to dance, we can dance, and there's, she goes, it's inviting. Students love going to school.
Wow.
And
I could totally see that. That was exactly what was happening in Australia.
And it turned out to be one of the top 5 educational systems in the world.
I actually saw it working. And I visited I visited 5 different schools. This is the other amazing part, was that I said, how's your homeschool program down here? Do y'all have anything like that? I mean, who would want to do homeschool if I can come to something like this, right? And so they explained they do have a homeschool program, but the requirements are so stringent that not a lot of people do it. And I said, well, what are those? He said, well, if you wanted to take your child out to do homeschool, you have to provide us 6 months of lesson plans of what you're going to teach them. And you've got to have all your textbooks. We then give you some small little tests, and then they turn around and they'll do surprise visits.
Wow.
I was like, wow, and they have time to do that because, their students are doing their own learning at their school. So I was thinking, wow, okay, I guess if I was going to be a homeschool parent, I'd have to take this very seriously, because the moment that doesn't happen, they've got to go back to school. And so there's just all of these great opportunities that I learned about their program. I thought it was just fantastic the way they ran it. And these students were very world-rounded and very focused. Like, I didn't see any mischief.
Yeah.
The other part was we had children of all different learning disabilities throughout the entire day as well. And they had their own space to kind of be free and still be a part and inclusive with all the other kids that were hanging around.
We can't say inclusive on this.
I know.
I'm so sorry. We're going to have to edit that out. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Did you by chance go to Melbourne?
I did.
You did?
Yeah. Only because I'm wearing a sweatshirt that says Melbourne. Steve, you're a hoot.
Let's talk about STEMCon.
Let's do it. You're too much. STEMCon.
STEMCon is coming up. It's an opportunity for MISD students and the beyond?
Beyond, yes.
Okay.
I've got people interested coming from Houston, Baltimore, all over that are interested in coming to STEMCon.
You say we. Are you one of the organizers?
I am the organizer.
You are the organizer of STEMCon 2025.
That's right.
Okay.
STEM It Up Sports.
Who, what, when, where, and why?
Okay. So STEM It Up, we're doing STEMCon 2025 as a playoff of Comic-Con, but we want to make sure that it provides information about STEM and how it's evolving. Okay,
will people be able to show up in cosplay and
yeah?
Okay,
I mean,
dress
they'll
up
engage
like Albert Einstein,
whatever they want to look like. They can come to this event and just have a blast.
Awesome.
And so the whole purpose is for them to get all types of information about AI, all types of information about how it's evolving. There's a game jam event that's going to happen there where kids actually have designed their own video game and they get to actually display it and have judges come and any individual come and play their game and they have to explain it. What's great about that is that they have to be presenters. They've got to learn how public speaking skills and they don't know whoever's coming to play their game if they're a judge or not. So it really gives them an opportunity to not be nervous and they can win prizes from this. It's $1,000 prize to the winner.
Wow.
$500 for the second place and $250, I think, for third place. So that's the great part about that. So kids get to be creative. We have professional development happening where teachers can come and get professional development. And we have already 100 teachers registered for that professional development. And I haven't even launched that registration yet. But all of what we want to do is give teachers an opportunity to come and see all the things and then incorporate a lot of that into their classes. UTD is going to be there to talk about their semiconductor engineering program that they offer.
Okay.
So that way teachers can kind of understand that they can send their kids to their location for field trips and learn about chips that are in everything that we operate. There's a chip that does some things that helps us improve our lives. We have some panel discussions that we're going to be offering. And one of them is an interactive AI session so that we'll bring in the crowd and they'll join us. We'll be using platforms that help them design music, platforms that help them design images, platform that helps them design, an actual diet plan if they wanted to. So we're gonna bring them up so that they can kind of play with those platforms and learn a little bit about how to not be scared of them. And then we'll have vendors, food, that kind of thing, and we'll end the day with a drone show.
A drone show.
Yes.
Awesome. Because Mansfield loves drones.
We do.
We are the holder of the world record of the largest.
That's right.
Yes, 5,000 drones.
That's right.
Which happened last December.
Yes.
Just what?
That was just December.
Yeah. Yeah. And so STEMCon 2025, it's not just for kids.
It's not just for kids.
It's open for anybody and everybody.
That's right. It's sponsored by the city of Mansfield.
Yay.
And we really wanted to have this as an annual event that everyone can come to STEMCon that's going to always happen in Mansfield. So we want those up in McKinney, everywhere to come down to this way so they can see all the things that we're incorporating into our city.
And eventually STEMCon, as you said, based on Comic-Con, people will start coming from all over the country.
All over the country.
And we're going to need a bigger boat.
We might need a bigger boat. Don't get me wrong. The Performing Arts Center is large enough to really hold some things. But as it starts to grow, there may be opportunity where we outgrow the space. So definitely.
When is it?
It's April 5th, Saturday, April 5th. And it'll be at the Performing Arts Center. And, surprisingly, that's also my birthday. That day. So I guess I'm having a big STEM party.
There you go.
STEMicon party. And yes, it's going to be a lot of fun from 10 to 7 or 8 o'clock, depending on how dark it gets. But that's when the actual drone show.
Okay. That's right. Immediately following.
That's right.
Immediate drone show.
Exactly. And so we want individuals to come. It's free for kids. It's $15 for adults. We know they got to get there somehow, but we definitely want to keep it free for kids. And then if you're coming to the professional development, you get professional development hours or certificates, so that way you can have that for your records.
Can I learn how to be a prompt engineer at the
Yes, you can.
STEMCon?
Yes, you can. That'll be part of the interactive part of the AI session that happens in our panel discussions.
All right. So I want to hear sometime during that AI panel discussion, I want to hear that term, prompt engineer.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
STEMCon 2025. It's Saturday, April 5th. It's 10 to 7 or so. Let's stick around for the drone show.
Yes.
At the Center for the Performing Arts up there on Debbie Lane. And oh my gosh, Dr. G.
Yes.
You are a blast.
Thank you.
I
for
love
having
talking
me.
science, and I guess I'm one of those nerdy people who wakes up in the morning. First thing I do is the crossword puzzle, and
I love the nerd out. That's like my favorite term. I know people are like, oh, nerds. No, that's sexy to me. Okay, I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. Everybody's a nerd.
Everybody's got a level of nerd.
That's
in them.
right.
Will you come back again?
I will. I'd love to. If you ever invite me, I'll keep coming.
Well, you and I, we ran into each other at an event, and you told me about this STEMCon, and I said, let's have you back on the show. It's been a pleasure having you back on the show, and
Thank you.
We'll do it again.
Let's do it. Thank you so much for having me.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, we are going to preheat the oven and fire up the stove as we talk culinary curriculum with two of Ben Barber's teacher chefs. In the meantime, this is the place you'll hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. And don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, engage, connect, amplify, elevate, celebrate, embrace, explore, share, love, or support this podcast if you haven't already, so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. Enter your email address right there on the homepage. We will never, ever, 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 ever send you any spam. That is my personal promise to you.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor feature, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Mansfield Real Estate Market Update, Angela Hornberg. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without written consent is strictly prohibited. We thank you all for listening on behalf of the entire news team. I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield.